I think
because it's basically just slay 3 cards and then you get it.
Nah, see, but you gotta keep that. You gotta see that landmark. 2, you gotta commit 2 mana to that landmark when your deck is an early aggro strategy. It is not like built to go to late game. So you're trying to get 3 fearsome units on the board. Granted, you can curve out perfectly sometimes, or you might open up Twisted Tree Line, and then drop 2 Precious Pets and the 3/2 one, the Arachnophobia or whatever it's called, and then proc your Twisted Tree Line and drop Velma. But I don't know. Honestly, the best way to get the Twisted Tree Line to see play, treat it like fucking Mono Shurima. If your deck is full of spiders, this card gets play out of your deck. I think that's it right there. Your deck is all spiders, cool. Twisted Tree Line comes straight into play, and then once the Twisted Tree Line come into play, if you have any more copies, you just hard play it for the mana cost. And then once they see 3 fearsome units, proc, boom, Velma comes in, fearsome, overwhelm, 6/6, and shit. Now motherfuckers are scared. I don't know. That's just my idea on it.
Yo, what if this becomes like a factory for Velmas? What if it doesn't destroy itself? Yo, is this card busted?
No. That'd be way too insane, bro. That's why I say the first one comes out for free, but the rest of them you gotta commit.
But no, not with your ability. Just in general, like keep what it has now. Only make it so that take away the part where it says destroy me to summon a Velma. Let's say it just says summon a Velma. You have to have 3 fearsome allies, right? Attack. The landmark has to see it, and you have to draw this.
Man,
that is such a big. That is so much stuff that you have to jump through just to get a 3 mana 6/6 with fearsome. Like, hello.
Right now, currently, yeah. That's why nobody does it. But if they make the changes that I don't know. But we got to just wait and see. But I personally think the Mono Shurima strategy, where they just if you got all spiders in your deck, play me for free, and then once it sees the fearsome units, you generate your Velma, right? I think that's probably the best way to get that deck to be like, all right, cool, we can fit this card in my deck now, right? Versus, hey, I gotta see this card, I gotta commit attack tokens for this card, I gotta have fearsome units on the field for this card. Not every single spider is fearsome. There's actually only, I think, like 4 spiders that are fearsome. No, like 5. Yeah, 5 spiders that are fearsome. So out of the 5 spiders that are fearsome, the rest of them are just regular units that could be chump blocked. And so he needs to either see Elise level up and then attack, and then you get your Velma for free, or you gotta curve out to that point, seeing 3 Precious Spiders or 3 of the 2 drops or something to basically try to make that card even more playable. I don't know. It's either they got to reduce the cost of the landmark, they got to reduce the amount of fearsome units he needs to see attack, or they need to just give it something different than what it has right now. Because right now that card is worthless, and if they only made it so like you they reduce the cost of the landmark, it's still not going to see any play. It's just not. Because spiders are an aggro strategy.
Yep, completely agree, honestly. And I was just checking to see how many spiders actually have fearsome. There's only 2 spiders that have fearsome.
Really?
It's only Elise and Frenzy Skidrow. That's it.
And
all the rest of them do not have fearsome.
Precious Pet has fearsome.
Which one?
Precious Pet.
Oh,
The
yeah,
one drop.
precious pet.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is it a spider?
Yep.
Wait, let me see. 'Cause I just put in,
Yeah.
spiders.
Yeah. So in terms of like, it's not gonna let me create some more. I got to delete something. I got too many decks. Delete.
Oh, yeah, why didn't this come up with the text for... Yeah, you're right. You're right, it's a spider.
Yeah. So they got Precious Pet and
Oh, there's also that 2-mana one, too.
Yep, that's the one I was referring to. So right now we got Precious Pet and Arachnahora. That's what it is. Arachnahora.
Yeah.
Yeah. I called it arachnophobia, but it's Arachnahora.
Yeah,
and then
I just looked it up. I just looked up spider on Mobalytics. I guess it didn't catch all of them.
Yeah, and then that's it. Oh yeah, now we got Spell Slinger, who's also a 2-mana spider, but he's 1/1. Like
yeah, he's 1/1. Yeah.
I don't know. Like in the anti strategy, perfect. In the elite strategy,
it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
2-mana 1/1 that stuns something. I don't really care about that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, all the rest of the spiders outside of those 3 initial ones that I brought up. Oh yeah, and Frenzy. So that's 4. And then Elise. Yep, that makes 5. Yeah, exactly what I said. Oh.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what you said. Yep.
So yeah. Outside of those 5, all the rest of them can be chump block. So I don't know.
Thanks.
Maybe they change how Trisha Treeline sees it. If I see 3 spiders attack, crack me. That could also work. But I really like the mono Shurima strategy. If you really want that landmark to be played, that's how you do it. You know? Because for the longest of time, mono Shurima was a laugh deck. People laughed at that deck. Because 1, you had to commit 1 mana to the card before. 2, you had to protect that card for 25 turns. Obviously, you're not going to wait 25 turns, but you get what I'm saying. You have to protect the card the entire time that it's still face up on the board. And it has to see your champions level up. Otherwise, the card doesn't tick down. So, if they pop your landmark and you leveled up, that landmark doesn't see the champion do it, it won't count down. So it's like, yeah, that was kind of whack, right? So to help the deck see playability and to see people use mono Shurima strategy, they made it one of the strongest landmarks you can possibly make for that type of strategy. 1, it plays itself. 2, it counts down faster, and it didn't commit any cards from out of your hand or for your mana. So it just did everything you needed it to do to help the deck thrive, and then from there it's up to you as a player to make the deck work, right? Because they pretty much did everything to make that card work. You didn't have to commit mana no more. You didn't have to give up a card from your hand anymore. You didn't have to, well, you do still have to protect it because there are still landmark removal, but you don't have to protect it as much anymore because it's not the predominant strategy anymore. But,
yeah, that's definitely true, 100%. It definitely got it's less committal. I mean, even though yes, you're playing mono Shurima, so you're it's a deck building cost, but you know, it's like you could still kill them even though they killed your landmark. I've done that tons of times with mono Shurima.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Where they kill my landmark and I'm just like, oh okay, well I'm just gonna kill you now.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely. They definitely changed it from like a joke strategy to like more of an actual playable deck.
Yep.
Honestly, the rest of these cards, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Not gonna hold you.
Like like Mastery, I have no clue. Fiora, we already talked about.
Yeah.
Paper Tree, I have absolutely no idea.
Nope.
How they changed this card. Julia, I have absolutely no idea. Maybe stat buff or something.
Yeah.
Realms of the Caretaker. Honestly, yo, I was looking at this card the other day. You know what? You know what I think they do to this card? And I think honestly,
what does it
broken
do
after this. So whenever you summon a portal, actually, wait, it might be portal or chimes. Either way, whenever you activate one of your boons, it gives +1/+1 and impact to the whole board. I think. Well, it gives.
Yeah, gives. No, but here's the problem with that, bro. You made a cheaper yugioh at arms.
Basically, yeah.
Because I've definitely lost it out a couple times.
Really? You lost to it?
Yeah, bro. They swarm the board with a whole bunch of portals, and then they activate that. It's a focus spell. I can't respond to it.
No, it's not a focus spell.
Oh, the one I'm talking about is the one where it's called growth something, where all the units get +2/+2.
+2/+2. Yeah. It's a 4 mana. Yeah. Not that one. It's that card. The card I'm talking about, Realms of the Caretaker. It's a 6 mana card.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they probably either make the buff permanent or make it 5 mana.
Ritual or renewal go down to 6. 6 mana for that is okay. I mean, how much do you get back health for that? For renewal of
I think it's 7.
No, I meant like how much health do you get back for it?
Yeah, 7.
Oh, 7 health?
Yeah, I think
so. You pay 6 for 7 health? I mean, that's...
You pay 6 for 7, draw 2.
If they made it 6 and they did all that, then yeah, I could definitely see it being played again.
I mean, it's slow.
Yeah, it's slow. That's what I'm saying. So if it did all that for 6 mana, yeah, people would definitely start playing that. Sunlight, I don't know what they're going to do with that. Sun Guardian. Yeah, and Solari Stellacorn. Now, that card was the biggest troll I have ever seen in LOR history. It's supposed to be... It's a rework of the other Stellacorn, right? But it costs more mana to summon, and it doesn't even heal your Nexus. So... I don't even know what it's supposed to do, bro. What do you think they're going to do to that? That's the last one that we're going to transition over to the next topic. What does the tournament scene look like in LOR? Is there a lot of weeklies around? I am so glad you brought that up, Jordan. The gentleman that is in the call with me right now is actually a tournament curator. He hosts a weekly tournament every single week, has roughly around 20 to 25 participants every single week, playing pretty much a variety of different decks. So there's never really two of the same decks for the most part. I mean, unless the strategy is just ridiculously strong. Like when Turbo Thralls was a thing, best believe... Every other match with Strauss. It was so crazy. I remember that tournament that you hosted. I was like, damn, nigga, is everybody playing Thralls? And I was like, yeah, well, shit, yeah. By turn 4, if you get 3 fucking 8/8 units with Overwhelm on the board, motherfuckers are sitting there looking at that shit like, I don't know what to do. That's 24. That's 24 damage staring me in the face,
bro. It was honestly just nasty.
Yeah,
I'm happy they nerfed it to the ground. Honestly,
yeah,
I'm happy. You don't know how it was a happy day for me when they nerfed it all. So I was like, thank God.
But yeah, Jordan, if you want to get into the tournament scene, definitely hit up my man's. You can find him on Twitch as Mystic Shot Podcast. And again, like I stated before, he hosts this weekly, so you can always enter and play. And he plays in different regions as well, like in terms of hosting in different regions. So.
Yeah, I host in Americas and also in EU, EMEA.
Yep.
As well.
So. So that's
But yeah,
our
we can
that's our
talk about
coverage
the
of the
rotation.
So that's our coverage of the buffs and nerfs. Let us know what you guys think are going to happen to these cards below. And just a short recap of the changes. We think that Cerumen is probably going to be increased mana. The haste box is definitely going to either get an increased mana cost as well, and or they're going to change the amount of damage that it does for the card. Concurrent is either going to get increased to its cost as well, or it's only going to affect the units that turn. Viego might have increased the amount of units he needs to see die. The Heroine, if I had to guess, is probably going to be an increased mana as well. Mark of the Storm, probably the same treatment, get an increased mana. Rights, probably going to get an increase as well. A lot of times, most Riot loves to do is increase the cost or change the unit stats. So most of these cards, we definitely see them probably getting an increase to mana, because you do have to commit a lot to cards, and the more you have to commit to the cards, the less optimal it feels to do it. That's why when stuff costs 0, you don't care, you don't give a shit because it's free. You just slap that shit and be like, oh well, you committed mana to stopping a free spell. Like when Azir Aurelia was a thing and they used to generate that free Blade Dance and it costed 0. Imagine you had to waste 4 mana on a deny to stop a fucking free spell that she generated. So, yeah. The less you have to commit to stuff, the easier it is to beat your opponent. So, obviously, by increasing the cost of these cards, you make it harder for you to just be able to do shit without, basically generating free advantage for yourself. We wasn't really sure what Decimate is going to happen, whether it's going to be a decrease to damage or an increase to mana cost. It's probably safer to say it's probably going to get an increase to cost, but who's to say for sure? I don't know what they're going to do to Leona. If they give her an increase to her stats, she's going to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest, 4-cost unit you could possibly summon, because she's already 3/5. So if she becomes 4/6 as 4 mana. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. But for Nocturne, probably just give him an increase to health. I always felt like his health was like really on the lackluster side. So giving him an increase to health is definitely going to help. Tom Kent, we speculate that they might give him rejuvenation because that's really what he needs. But, it's really not within the cards to know for sure what's going to happen to Tom until that comes out. But I think, and a lot of people might also think that he needs rejuvenation if you want him to be a viable control champion. Master Yi, no idea what they're going to do to him. He's already a pretty decent unit. You only got to commit 2 mana to him. So I don't know what they're going to do to him. Fiora, they're going to increase her health. Swain, we wasn't sure either. They might decrease his cost and lower his stats, but who's to say for sure? Sun Guardian, no idea. Morning Light, no idea. Solari, Stellacorn, no idea. Sunburst, no idea. Velma, and a lot of these cards, we kind of really don't see where they're going to go with those cards until they come out, just because of the fact it's kind of hard to tell what you can do with these cards to make them balanced but also playable. You know what I mean? So we just have to wait and see. But we gave our opinions on what we think is going to happen to most of these cards. So if you guys want to re-watch our thoughts on these cards, you can go back into the video. It's going to be uploaded onto my channel, and you guys can watch the whole entire breakdown there. But now we're going to talk about the idea of rotations in Legends of Runeterra. So anybody who plays card games knows that there's normally either a ban list or B, a rotation of cards. So if most people who play Legends of Runeterra has a Magic the Gathering background and also played cards that came from Wizards of the Coast, like fucking Hearthstone and other things like that. So if you go to the Legends of Runeterra Reddit page, you'll see a lot of people on there who says, yeah, I came from Hearthstone. I couldn't get a collection in that game because I had to commit so much money. I spent thousands of dollars in that game and I wasn't able to get shit. And then I came to Legends of Runeterra, grinded for like 3 months, and I owned every single card in the game, right? Now they want to implement a rotation to the game to basically help with the formats. So if you know anything about Legends of Runeterra, there are some concurrent champions you're always going to see. Some of those concurrent champions include Ezreal, Misfortune, Akshan, Lee Sin,
Nami.
Yeah. So these are champions that no matter what format we're in, these guys continue to see gameplay, right? They continue to get played. They continue to be at the top of deck strategies. They just, no matter what happens to the format, new cards are introduced or anything like that, somebody always finds a way to bring these champions back into the meta because they're just so fucking strong, right? So what Riot wants to do is implement a rotation into the card game where they rotate out champions and their supporting cards and bring in the new, so people are more, so they're encouraged to play the new strategies instead of relying on old faithful, essentially. I personally am not in favor of this change just due to the fact that I come from like a fighting game background where you go, you learn, you adapt, and you grow, right? You do not continue to cry about something and just be like, oh, well, I'll just wait for the nerfs to come. Because back in the day when I used to play video games, and I know that sounds super boomery, but, you know, there was no balance changes. The game was just the game. So if the game was broken, the game was broken. And you just have to learn how to play through the brokenness, right? The game is constantly updated all the time. Champions like Kalista, Lucian, and so many other characters don't see gameplay anymore because they changed critical aspects of those characters to prevent them from continue to see the gameplay that they did. When I first started playing the game, Lucian was my most played champion. I played him more than any other character in Legends of Runeterra. And my strategy was MF Lucian. I used to heavily rely on his cheap Rally card, which was a 3-mana burst speed spell. And it was fucking broken. And I was just like, yeah, Relentless Pursuit. Pew pew. Relentless Pursuit. Pew pew. Right? And it was good. It got the job done. But over time, they nerfed him and changed the rallies because they was like, yeah, we can't just allow people to just rally like crazy like that because we're introducing more and more cards that will completely break the game if we allow rally cards like this to exist. And that was a good change, right? It was good. It was healthy for the game. So I'm more in favor of them just tuning down cards that are just too strong right then and there versus just completely removing it from the game entirely and just finding a way to please both audience of people who are tired of the wear and tear of the game and want some breath of fresh air and or otherwise. But I was talking with Mr. Depressed earlier and he brought up some very good points as well, where he said, and I quote, what are we supposed to do about all the essence and prismatic points that I spent on these cards, right? And, to that point, Riot could make the argument saying, well, we're not completely getting rid of these cards. You can still use them in Path of Champions or non-ranked. We might just reserve rank to just be advanced format, essentially, like in Magic the Gathering and other card games like that, which would suck because I am a mostly strictly just ladder player. I just play ladder. When I get on LOR, I'm grinding rank. I'm trying to climb, improve my skills, improve my strategies, think of different deck ideas that I can implement into the game that I think are cracked or good and stuff like that. And the best way to test that out is in rank, because you know for a fact people are going to take it the most seriously when you're going to get someone in rank, because there's something to lose, right? There's something to gain and there's something to lose. So people are going to play their hardest because they want to win. And by you rotating out certain strategies and support cards from the game, it's going to be a completely different climate, and I don't think it would benefit the community as well as it does now. So the example that I gave to a friend of mine before when I was making the argument was that by you rotating out someone's favorite champion, let's say I convinced 8 or 10 people to play Legends of Runeterra, which I have done in real life, and I exclaim, hey, do you play League of Legends? They say yes. And I said, cool. League of Legends has a card game. And it's like, oh, I didn't know that. Is so-and-so champion in this game? So, and now I'll be like, oh, yeah, that champion's in this game. And they'll be like, oh, cool. I'm going to download the game and play my favorite champion right now. So now, when they go and they try to play the game, they not only do they have to grind for days and days and days just to get some copies of their champion, but they have to grind and get all the copies of the cards for that deck. Then once they finally got the deck constructed, oh, too bad, your champion got rotated out. So now you can only play them in normals or in Path of Champions. So I don't know. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think that is the right move. But, maybe someone has a different perspective on the matter. But I don't think that's going to help benefit the game state of LOR. I know LOR is a smaller community in terms of most Riot games. But if you want to help make your fans rally behind you as much as possible and get, have more promoters like myself, you gotta give people a reason to want to play the game. And by you taking away the main reason why people came to this game in the first place, which is to play their favorite champion, there's no reason to play Legends of Runeterra.
I mean, I'll just say this. I pretty much agree with everything you just said. Pretty much. Only thing I'll say is that there are maybe a little bit of benefits to the rotation, status. Like, maybe they can make multiples of cards. They could rotate out Lucian and maybe make, a new copy Lucian. But, I still don't really like it for Runeterra, only because it's kind of just like what you said. Like, whenever you talk to somebody, about Legends of Runeterra, most times it's like they want to play a specific champion, or they want to play a specific set of champions. Like, they like Noxus. Like, let's say that for example, right? They like Noxus, and let's say for whatever reason they just rotate out, I don't know, the best Noxus champs. Say they rotate out Darius, Draven, and Swain, right? That's half of what people like Noxus for. Yeah. If they rotate out, that's basically they basically rotated out Noxus as a region. Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy to think about, but I mean, there are benefits. Because then instead of them completely nerfing cards, because this is what they do in Magic. Instead of nerfing cards, they just rotate them out. They just let them play out to their existence. They, instead of nerfing Nami, they would just let her play out to her existence, let her be broken, and then just rotate her out and just know okay, we shouldn't make another Nami, right? Yeah. Action. If they were to rotate out, because they could plan for rotating certain cards out, right? So they could know, okay, we're gonna rotate out Action this season, right? So they could be all right, we're just gonna let him play out. We're just gonna make really broken support cards or whatever. He's gonna be broken this season. It's fine. He's gonna rotate out. Right. And then they could make some other Action card that's like it, but obviously way over, not as good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's like benefits. There's definitely benefits, but I think overall it's worse for the game. It's just my opinion.
So Mr. Depressed says, I feel like we've invested too much for cards to be removed. I don't even like POC, and the day that Zoe gets removed is the day I officially stop playing this game. And we can even use Jordan as an example. He only plays this game for Fiora. Yeah, and that's a good point, right? Jordan is a very casual when it comes to LOR, right? He plays to just play Fiora strategies, have fun, and do cool Fiora shit. They remove Fiora. What's his purpose of booting up this game? And believe it or not, a lot of people play ladder. There's a lot more people playing ladder than Riot likes to admit sometimes.
It doesn't make you strong.